A few examples. I think we're very, very lucky. I want to point out two works that we are very lucky to have in this exhibition. These are two pastel portraits. And if any of you have either worked with pastel or know pastel in any way, you will know how difficult it is a medium to manipulate. These two works are from the Comédie Française, which is a living theater. It's right across from the Louvre. And it is not a museum, and in that way, well, they have just portrait after portrait of actors and actresses who have played on the stage of the Comédie Française. But of course, this unfortunately is under a particular glass. They were very concerned about the fragility. It's extremely unusual to have a pastel loan, especially internationally. There was a big pastel show at the Met about a year ago, and I myself learned a great deal about it. It was a woman who really began legitimizing the use of pastel as a serious art medium, and that was Rosalba Carriera. To use it on such a large scale in a legitimate way, which is to say not as a sketch, is to see. Now you can see it on large scale. If you look closely, probably better seen here than there. You can see it's a really lens. It's a much softer sort of appearance on the canvas. And these, as I say, are major figures from the Comédie Française. This Raucourt, Madame Raucourt, had quite a reputation. They call this Madame Raucourt as Agrippina. I actually think it's Raucourt as Dido, because I look at this lion, and I think of Carthage. I think but you know, my point is that there's a lot of questions. There's many questions with these. These paintings elicit as many questions as there are answers, because there's really very little known about the artists. The works of art are rarely shown. The work by Sophie Reed behind you was something that is usually on the racks of the Louvre, in the storage of the Louvre. Could use a little removal of the varnish, which has yellowed over time. One of our hopes, and it really happened with Hermitage and the Italian show, is that when these works go back to their points of origin, they're looked at anew with new eyes, and some of those actually brought out and even conserved, you know, because we've given them a certain kind of a prominence, you know, and curators sort of take a second look at a work such as this. I had mentioned how works were signed by others. This one actually says David on it, because she did, in fact, in Belgium, she worked with David. And even though it looks nothing like a David, for those of you who know David's hand, it was still assigned to him. So, moving along, please note